Yes, good morning. Hope you are doing good. Hope you are doing okay. It's another day. Thank you for returning to this my channel. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for everything that you have done and everything that you are doing. If you have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe to this my channel so that we can discuss more, so that we can learn more, so that we can go to enlighten various things concerning medical and also lifestyle. So today, I just wanted to discuss something else concerning items and machines that we usually use in our laboratories. I'm going to explain in a short how they work, what we usually do with them, and their function. We have some kits, we have some chemicals. Okay, let's go together so that we can flow with how we are doing it and how we usually do it. If you have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe so that you can learn more. It's very hot. The sun is very hot. I know even where you are, some people are complaining about it, but it's their time. So go with me so that we can learn more and more concerning those items, the machines, and how we work with them. Okay, today I will start with this machine. This we call it biochemistry machine. This is the machine that we usually use when we are testing or when we are doing biochemical test, which include like renal function test, that is the kidney function test. We have a liver function test, we call it RFTs. We have UECs, that is the renal. We have lipid profile. We have calcium levels, and also like uric acid. So what we are using this machine, the various tests of the machine that we have. This is one of the machine. It doesn't mean that it's type of a machine, but if you are in a laboratory and if you want to get one, I can recommend it. It's a good machine. I have been working with it for almost 6 years. I've been working with this machine, so I can recommend it. It's a good machine. So if you are willing to get one, you can purchase and you can work with it. Yeah, that's one. Second, we have these types of it's a machine. We call it a micropipette. So when we are testing and when we are collecting chemicals and blood that we are testing, it must be measured in a range so that we can know what amount of blood or what amount of reagents that we are using, so that we may not put a lot or we may not put less in this machine. So these are the measuring tools that we have. We have various of them with different range or capacity, the volume that they hold. Like this one, we use it to correct blood in terms of microliters. For this one, it starts from 100 to 1000 microliters, but we have others like this one. It starts from 200, as you can see, from 20 to 200 microliters, and we have others that start from like this one. It starts from 5 to 10 microliters. So what we are testing, this machine has the recommended volume of reagents that required for us to get the best measurement. So if you are doing a test and if you want to do a test, we usually use those microliters, and also we have this machine, and we have various machines that requires the recommended volume of blood at the recommended volume of reagents, so that they can work together to know the ranges or the test ranges that we are using. So when we are looking like creatinine levels, when we are doing like urea levels, potassium, that the salts, chlorides, potassium, sodium, those are salts, or we call them electrolytes. When we are testing them, this is a machine that we usually use, and it's the best, it is a good machine. So we have two types of this kind of machines. One is automated, and others are semi-automated. Like this one, it's semi-automated. What we mean by automated or automation, when we are using semi-automated, it means that everything that you are doing with this machine, you are the one supposed to prepare manually. So if I'm mixing some reagents with samples, that is the blood samples, I'm the one who is supposed to do that calculations, and also the correction of that blood to separate. Everything is done manually. That's why we call it semi-automated machine. We have others machine which are usually automated. So when you are using this machine and you have a automated machine, that means everything that machine does, it's itself correct and measures its volume, and everything is done internally. So you are supposed to need to correct blood, and then you press it inside that machine, and the machine will go to measure the recommended volume of reagents, the recommended volume of samples, and it will do itself. You are only supposed to click machine, and you press which test you are doing. So it's a good machine and a recommended machine. So when you are using this machine, most of the tests that we usually do, we use something we call Selam. At some machines or some tests, it is not a must that you use Selam. I think we had another lesson taught about Selam and plasmas. So when we are talking about blood, the blood is composed of various components. Like this one, we call it red-topped vacutainer. This one, we use it usually when we are doing biochemistry test. So when you look at this blood, I don't want to display the name of the client that we did this test. Like this one, it's a blood which is already separated. You can see here at this place. You can just look at it. It is divided into two. We have the red part and the somehow or reddish part, or the clear part. Now this is what we call Selam. When we are using a red-topped, this is what we call Selam, and this is the deposits. So when we are using this machine, when we are testing this with this machine, it mostly uses Selam, but some tests you can use plasma. So when we are talking about plasma, for example, this is another vacutainer, which is a purple topped, or it can be blue, but we mostly use it's a purple topped. At the top, you can see it's almost the same as the red topped, but when you use this capped, so when we are using this blood, this part we call it plasma, but not a serum. When we are using the red top, That when we use the term plasma. But in this case, when we are using the purple topped, here we are using plasma. The difference between these two is that for this one, it contains something we call it fibrin or fibrinogen, which is part of protein. For this one, it cannot clot. This one cannot clot. And when we are using this, the red topped, the blood is already clotted, and we have already separated from the clot. When I turn this blood, you can see there's a clotted blood that's moving. But when we are using serum or the plasma, you can see the blood is already mixed. So this blood is has not yet clotted, because we have used the purple topped, which is this blood contains fibrin or the fibrinogen, which prevents the blood from clotting. So the top layer that we are using is the one that we mix with some various reagents, so that we can use this machine to test various tests. As we go on, here we have some we call them tips. As you can see, we have various types of tips. We have the yellow and we have the blue tips. The function of these tips, I have explained that we have these micropipettes that we usually use to collect blood. So this is a yellow tip. We use them to place them here at the end point of this micropipette, so that we can collect the recommended volume of blood. So like here, you can see from my micropipette, it reads 84. So when I'm going to collect this blood, I'll collect 85 microliters of that blood, which will be mixed with another reagents, so that we can relate by this machine. Okay, I know that various of us, most of us, we know that we have learned about calorimeter in our high school levels. So this machine uses that principle of calorimeter, where we let the AD or the absorption of that rate of the calorimeter, so that we can know the readings of that reagent that or that working reagents plus the sample, which we're going to turn the color of that reagent, so that we can have a color which will be proportional to the standard that we are using. So it's hard for some of us to understand that, but that's all what we use and the principles that we use when we are dealing with biochemistry test. So I know there are various and many items and machines. As we go on, I will going to explain more and more pertaining medical items that we usually use in our laboratories for various tests. So if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe, so that you can get enough subscription, and also support my channel through subscribing, commenting, writing. And we go that we're going to go far, and we're going to learn more and more concerning medical. So may God bless you, and may God guide you as you do so. As we're going to learn more, we're going to discuss various and more tests when you are doing with dealing with medical. So may God bless you, may God guide you. and may God protect you. Kindly subscribe.